So I seen it's come out. I think Pro Football Focus, clown organization. Listen, Pro Football Focus. You need to fucking stick to offensive linemen with your little metrics. Let me show you how bad they are. They have him rated the number one receiver in the first week of the playoffs. And I had to look at his numbers because I thought he went off for like 10, 200 yards or something. He had 4 catches, 54 yards, and a TD. You had Pro Football Focus with their metrics having the number one rated receiver. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. He threw a TD. He threw a touchdown. That's why he's number one. But yeah, Pro Football Focus, stick to your offensive linemen now, right? That's the only thing they got going for them. Their metrics on that. Their metrics, everything else are skewed. If you have to rely on Pro Football Focus to get your stats, you don't know football. I have an eye test that I can see when I know people that are good. And I'm sorry, Odell Beckham, because he threw a touchdown, is not a top-rated receiver in football in the first week of the playoffs. That's a below-average game. 4 catches for a TD, 54 yards. Come on. But I can name you 20 receivers off the top of my head better than Beckham right now in the league, and that's a fact. And you know this for a fact too. If every receiver in football was available right now, where would you draft? And all teams are drafting only receivers. Where would Odell be drafted? I'd say between 25 and 30, because 25 receivers will be drafted before him. I mean, he's what, 5'10", a buck 80. He's got speed. He's got a severe injury history. I know he's only 28, but that's an old 28. So he's not a bad receiver. He could still catch it. In Cleveland, oh, this is another thing. Pro Football Focus had like 4 drops in Cleveland. Oh, they only had 4 drops. I can count 9 of them. He played terrible in Cleveland. And I'll give him a pass because he didn't want to be there. But he still catch the ball. But you have to have everything right for him. If you ain't throwing him the ball, making him a part of your offense, he's going to pout. But yeah, I'm sorry, Pro Football Focus, you got to do better. You're going to rate him the best receiver because he threw a touchdown? Get the fuck out of here. 4 catches for 51 yards or 54 yards and a TD. That's not good enough. That's not good enough at all. Beckham is, like I said, 25 to 35 where he'd be going right now. Remember Jarvis Landry when he came to Cleveland? He was considered the top 10 receiver, I believe, at the time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think at the time he was considered the top 10 receiver. You know where he's at now? Top 60, between 50 and 60. Nobody wants him. He's an undersized tight end. He's a miniature tight end. No speed, works the slot. He's useless. So, yeah, Pro Football Focus, stick to your metrics on your fucking offensive lineman. That's about the only thing you got going for you. So people that don't understand when they say he's a top-rated receiver, it's because he threw a touchdown. It has nothing to do with him catching the ball. There were 5 or 6 receivers that had maybe even 8 or 9 receivers had better numbers than him over the weekend, but they didn't throw that touchdown. They didn't throw a touchdown. So yeah, if you got to rely on Pro Football Focus to get your information, you're clueless. That's what I'm saying. These people that rely on that, you shouldn't have to. You can just have an eye test. Is Beckham good? Yes, he's still good, but is he great? No, he's never going to be great again. And it just has me rolling how people think that he's still a great receiver. It's 2015 or 14, whatever. He's nowhere close to that. So, yeah, he's a top-rated receiver because he got that little touchdown pass. Didn't someone else throw a touchdown pass too? I'll tell you one thing right now. You would take Deebo Samuel's performance Sunday over what he did because he ran the ball for like 80 yards. That's better than throwing a fucking touchdown pass because he got them tough yards and should have had that first down at the end of the game, but they kind of shorted a bad spot, whatever. But anyway, yeah, Odell Beckham, average at best. And I know people are going to sit there and say this guy hates him because he's a Browns fan. I never liked him. I couldn't stand him in Cleveland. I couldn't stand him when he was at the Giants. He's 5'10", buck 80, buck 85. He's a small receiver. The NFL has evolved to big receivers. And like I said, if you were redrafting all the receivers right now, he'd be between 25 and 35 picked. And you know I'm right because there are 25 guys you would take before him, and it's not even close. So yeah, for anyone out there, I know they're going to say I think it was Colin Cowherd where I seen this. Colin Cowherd said he was a top-rated receiver. Colin, he threw a touchdown pass. That's why. It has nothing to do with his receiving skills. That's why you don't follow Pro Football Focus. They have these little statistics that they use, and they're garbage. Oh, but a lot of GMs use them. I don't give a fuck if GMs use them. You know what a GM is? A normal GM in football is someone like Andrew Berry. Never played a down of football in his life, probably. I mean, if you never played the game, I'm not saying you don't have an ability to judge talent, but it sure helps when you played the game and you know what's going on. So do I know more than Andrew Berry? Absolutely. You know why I know more than Andrew Berry? Because I would have never signed Case Keenum to a $6 million contract, and I would have never signed Austin Hooper, a tight end that nobody else wanted. Did anyone else see anyone beating down Austin Hooper's door to sign him? And I would have never locked up Nick Chubb. I mean, it's blasphemy. Andrew Berry, I like him, but he does some stupid moves. He does get some good talent, but I mean, Jesus Christ, Austin Hooper, and then you bring in a $6 million backup and you don't even use him? I mean, if we would have used our backup, we'd be in the playoffs right now. It just doesn't make any sense. And another thing about Andrew Berry, he hired an analytic nerd, Stefanski, the worst coach in football right now. Kevin Stefanski is one of the worst coaches in football. Just look at his play calling. When the game's on the line, look at his play calling. The guy runs 13 personnel with the game on the line with 20 seconds left. You're going to wait. The guy's an idiot. So, yeah, Odell Beckham. He threw a touchdown. That's why he's the top-rated receiver, Cowherd. Fucking clown.